Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today's update is the 66th edition of my 1:400 scale Charlotte Airport update. Time frame for today's video is approximately the 3 p.m. to about 5:30 hour, so the flights that you will see in this video should be captured in that dedicated time frame for realism purposes. And without further ado, we will start things off with Etihad. And if you did see the previous update, I left this guy in the exact same place with the GSE hooked up exactly like it is because I was a little bit lazy. I'm still getting over a cold, so I was trying to make sure I waited so my voice wasn't too raspy from that recent cold, and with the time frame for the video, this still fits perfectly. So we have Etihad Flight 16 with nonstop service to Abu Dhabi. Next on our list, we have two American 777s. The one on the bottom of your screen is 784 with service to Munich, followed by flight 704 with service to Frankfurt. And then we have the America West Heritage livery, which just came in from San Francisco's flight 1960 and is going into gate B Bravo 3. And we're going to come on back over to gate Alpha 11, 737-800. As you can see, is getting pushed back or getting ready to push. This aircraft is operating flight 2662 with service to Tulsa. And then going over to our US Airways Heritage 321, this aircraft is getting ready to go for Minneapolis, operating flight 2151. And we'll go over to the dual taxi real quick. We have the American A321neo. This aircraft is flight 1499 with service to Los Angeles. Followed by the MAX 8 American with service to Norfolk, operated as flight 2674. And then we have our PSA Heritage Special Livery. I think this is the first time I've gotten one of these guys into the video. I think I've rotated most of the Heritage planes at this point except for PSA, but this guy today is operating flight 1426 with service to Madison, Wisconsin, followed by our last airplane on the A concourse, a 319, which is flight 1973 with service to Wilmington. And for the last portion of the segment, for this particular part of the video, we will go towards our couple American Eagle planes I have here once the camera focuses. Okay, so we got an Embraer 175. This is flight 3917 with service to Huntsville. And then we have a CRJ 900. This aircraft is flight 5040 with service to Atlanta. Alright guys, for the next portion of the video, we will start with the second pier of the A concourse. And I will go ahead and get us going with the Southwest 737-700 that is in the process of pushing back. This aircraft is operating flight 914 with service to Chicago Midway. Next up we have our Air Canada CRJ 900 with service to Toronto as flight 8748. And then we have our Mustard Southwest MAX 8 operating flight 2486 with service to Dallas Love. And at least the main event for me of this video, and the sole purpose of uploading this today, July 9th, JetBlue Airways has finally come back to Charlotte after a 2-year hiatus. And I could not be more thrilled to have them back in Charlotte. It is extremely exciting as I grew up really loving this airline, and it's kind of brought that childhood excitement back for me. So I'm really happy to have them here in Charlotte. They're doing 3 flights a day on A320s. In September, they transitioned to a 2 daily schedule, and that has a lot more to do with just, you know, the shoulder season, I should say, for air travel. So that's kind of an expected decrease down to the 2 flights, but could not be more thrilled to have them back. I don't want to be greedy, but I do hope for expanded service at some point. I'd love to see JFK or Boston come back. I'm really, think those are both routes would, I think, do really well personally. But just to have at least one of them back would be pretty ideal for us here, especially the local market. It's a very high demanding route. It's one of the top 10 routes out of Charlotte, both Boston and the New York market. So I think it would be very successful for them to kind of re-enter that market on the 220s especially. But anyways, this is JetBlue Flight 1148 with service to Fort Lauderdale. And I was actually just going to pick a different plane for today's video. I actually had the Duncan plane originally inserted for this video, but I recorded this the day before the inaugural flight, and at the time I was recording it, it was scheduled to be the Spotlight 320, so I figured, you know what, I will just, for realism purposes, I will just throw in the exact livery that is flying in for the inaugural flight. So so happy to have these guys back, and look forward to having them in more videos and showcasing all the different special livery models that I have, you know, into the different updates as moving forward. So good to have them back, and I hope they do very well here. Next up, United 319. This is flight 2609 with service to Denver. Now we got our United Express Embraer 175 on pushback, flight 4020 with service to Houston. And the last airplane for this portion of the video is another United Express Embraer 175, and this aircraft is getting loaded up. It's to Newark. All right, for the last part of the video, I will start us off with the Delta 717 that is in the alleyway, kind of an odd angle just from where I positioned the camera. But anyways, that is a Delta 717 entering the alleyway. This aircraft is going to park at gate Alpha 32, and that aircraft just came in from Detroit. And then over there at the gate, we have a Sun Country. I think it's been a while. I don't know if I have had a Sun Country in any of these videos, but if I did, it would have been the first one that I did a month or two ago, whenever that was. Anyways, Sun Country flight 1949 just came in from MSP, and it'll be going back out as 1948. And then another Minneapolis flight, Delta A220-100. This is flight 2819. And then some empty gates. Got a Delta A321neo. Aircraft is getting pushed back, or about to push. And it is flight 2070 with service to Salt Lake City. Couple Frontiers. Got two A321s. These guys, these two Frontier models are just holding it down for me. I don't, I'm not going on eBay and paying 120, 150, whatever it is for Chomp the Bronco or whatever. So we got to get some new Frontier models coming out by Gemini or something. So, but anyways, Steve the Eagle and Otto the Owl are holding it down. We have Steve the Eagle, flight 1328 with service to Philly, and then Otto the Owl getting pushed back, operating flight 3134 with service to New York LaGuardia. Alrighty guys, that will wrap up today's video. I hope you enjoyed today's update. As you can tell, even coming off a little bit of a cold, I am still extremely thrilled to get the JetBlue back in. For those that know me personally, know that's the big excitement for me. So that's good to see. We love that. So I'm looking forward to, like I mentioned in the one part of the video, I'm looking forward to having them in future updates going forward. And I guess this is a good time to share some good news. This was tracking really well. So anyone that follows Layover Layouts, he posted a mat of mine, or a future mat that actually should be being printed currently and shipped to me very, very soon. So I should have that in hand pretty maybe next week or so. But it was the Fort Lauderdale G-Concourse mat. So that was kind of what I was, if anyone did stick around to any of the videos, that last video I did, that was what I was kind of hinting at. Well, hinting at some type of display coming. So that was it, basically. And really our next step is, number one, receive the mat. Number two, Tarmac Designs is doing the building piece for the display. So that's why I didn't want to give like a firm month or anything. I think we're still tracking nicely for a summer release. Obviously, it's great that we have the mat almost here, but I am just gonna, I'm holding out for when he gets the terminal building designed and built for me. So again, hoping, I'm still think we're tracking pretty well for summer, and I look forward to sharing that. And then, again, today's a huge day for JetBlue. This is recorded July 8th, but the update is based off of the July 9th events. And for those that follow the industry, and specifically JetBlue, I mean, they're launching 9 new, well, I shouldn't say 9 new. They're relaunching I want to say it's like 8 routes are resuming technically, because technically Charlotte actually did have Fort Lauderdale way back like 2007, 2008, maybe 09 at the latest. But they're doing resuming a lot of routes that they used to out of FLL. So you're seeing Cleveland's back, Charlotte, Nashville, Baltimore, Chicago, Detroit, I think was thrown in the mix there, and I'm probably missing maybe 1 or 2 routes, but big day down there in Fort Lauderdale. As of now, they're showing about 127 daily flights out of that station now, which is just incredible growth. Rest in peace, Spirit, but that's where a lot of this is coming into play is because of that. But on the JetBlue side of things, I really do hope that this expansion kind of I really think it needs to save them. It's going to hopefully help them financially to be a true #1 carrier at an airport. That's one thing that they don't really have, right? So like they have a big operation in JFK, but you're still fighting American. You're fighting Delta, right? And then you go up to Boston, you're fighting Delta heavily up in Logan, and you still have a good respectable amount of American flights that you're competing against in that airport. So I think Fort Lauderdale truly is like one of finally they have an airport that can be just a #1 airline for them. So they're already tracking to have 150 flights end of year. I was looking at their future schedules on Cirium not too long ago, and they're showing 152 on some days end of year. So JetBlue's financials are a sad state of affairs since COVID. So I really hope Fort Lauderdale, this was like their last really big push before they hopefully don't go down the road of bankruptcy. But I think if they're going to turn it around, they're going to need Fort Lauderdale and all these flights to get things going. They're turning it into a true hub and spoke type setup. I mean, if you look at their schedule, they're running about 4 banks a day now. So all these flights, so for example, Charlotte they have flights that depart at 6:50 a.m. and 9 o'clock a.m. Both those flights, you get to Fort Lauderdale, they're connecting into 2 big connecting banks. So it's the first time JetBlue has truly done that. Their operation, I think like 97% of their flights, I might have to fact check myself, but I saw like a mid-90s% number of flights, and 95% of their flights, let's say, are local people just going point A to point B, and then that other 5% is connection. So I think you're going to see that number kind of come down a little bit just because of Fort Lauderdale, because like I said, they're really trying to position it as obviously they're going after a local market down in South Florida, but they're also going for that connecting aspect of things. So looking forward to see how that goes, and I wish best of luck to JetBlue just for selfish reasons because I love them to death, so I hope it goes well. But anyways, did not mean to make this conclusion video probably like half the length of the actual full airport update. So, but y'all know how sometimes when I make videos, I'll start talking and I'll just keep going and going and going. So I will discontinue at that. Thank you guys so much for stopping by and checking out today's video. I will have probably one more CLT update for the month of July. I think I kind of alluded to that in the previous video, so I'll probably get one more for this month. And then hopefully after that, I can present you a Fort Lauderdale video, because not that I'm tired of making Charlotte videos, but I need my JetBlue fix. So that's what I cannot wait to do. So thank you guys again for all the support. I will see you in the next video. Take it easy.